Hey everybody, welcome to the August 1st, 2024 edition of Inside LP, where we are going to talk about what's going on. What is the purpose of this show? This is the morning show. Goodness, I'm back. We're just going to talk about what's going on in the world of Disney this morning with Benji and perhaps some other LPers popping in if they have. We have someone on site at Gen Con right now. Is he going to pop in with us? That'd be fun. But the big story, of course, is the third day of 3 on reveals for the Disney Destiny cruise ship coming next year from Disney Cruise Line. And the other big deal for us personally here at Laughing Place is today, Laughing Place, originally laughingplace.com, turns 25 years old. So very proud of that accomplishment as one of the co-founders of Laughing Place, along with my wife, Rebecca, who unfortunately can't be here right now. So we will spend a little time talking about LP 25 and hopefully, I'm not sure, I haven't even talked to our CEO about this, but would love to go live later with Rebecca just to talk about LP 25, but we'll see if that is a possibility. But anyway, let's get started.
I think that's a safe bet. And I think that, just to be clear to everybody, this is going to be a year-long, 15-month celebration. And obviously, we are a little pressed due to D23 coming up in, just in a week. So we are, we're not giving LP25 the attention it really deserves. So we will be celebrating longer because we are spread pretty thin.
Yeah, a lot going on. I don't know why this year. Remember when they used to do the expo in September, and this would have worked out perfectly. But no, we're doing it in August, so we're busy. Anyway, let's get to the Disney Destiny. What did we learn today?
Today was Marvel Day, so we got that the statue is going to be. It's T'Challa, Black Panther, with a literal Black Panther. I like the look of the hall with its Wakandan, vibranium kind of look. Not a huge fan of the statue.
Really? Tell us why.
I think most people know T'Challa from the film Black Panther, and where he's inextricably linked to the actor Chadwick Boseman, and so therefore the character has also passed away. So it feels like a memorial statue, and that maybe even has I wouldn't be against having a tribute to Chad or T'Challa, but it's a weird opening statement to your cruise vacation.
Hard to disagree on that one. I don't think most people are quite as in the weeds as you, and as time goes on, it gets even less than less. And at some point, this just becomes a superhero and less associated with the tragic incident.
Oh, I agree. As if this happened in a ship 10 years from now, it would be different. But I feel like for the people that this statue would mean something to, it's a little too soon.
Okay, I agree to disagree. Okay. But and even so, even if they do associate it, I think it becomes a nice tribute with not a downer. I mean, we've there's like a curve, and we're past the downer a little bit and on the celebration side of the curve. And yes, let's celebrate Chadwick Boseman and his great performance in 42 and Black Panther. So yeah, I'm okay with this. Anyway, what else did we learn?
We learned that so they've been doing this thing where they reveal things but not giving any concept art. So we learned that what is Luna on the Wish is going to be themed is Saga, which also is themed to Black Panther and Wakanda.
Luna being the main family entertainment space. They do bingo there, they do karaoke there, all kinds of fun games there. Match Your Mate at night, of course. Just their main entertainment space. They have a lot of smaller spaces, but that's the big one. It's 2-level. As you said, it's Luna on the Wish. And here it's going to be Doctor Strange themed, which kind of feels like a Sanctorium kind of thing. That works.
Well, and then there's going to be a Sanctum bar or lounge.
Sanctum? Did I not say the right word? Sanctorium?
Sanctoria, which I believe was like a potential GOP presidential candidate.
Rick Santoro. Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
So we don't know what it looks like, but it's going to have a window theme to that window that you all know with the logo and everything. We don't I mean, I don't know if it's out there. I was actually going to look, but I ran out of time. But that the show that they're doing at the Marvel restaurants, not the original show, the Quantum Mania. Where is it called? Quantum, the thing with the buttons. But it's actually the second show they're producing for the Treasure, featuring the Guardians of the Galaxy and Groot, Rocket and Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy. What I'm trying to find out is if we got actual word on what what the itineraries are for the ship. So I'm going to do that. And then a lot of returning things that we just learned about. We learned that like 1923 is going to be coming back, so on and so forth. So it's going to be doing 4 and 5 night cruises from Fort Lauderdale to the Bahamas and Western Caribbean.
4 and 5.
Castaway Club members can start booking September 6th, and general public is September 12th, which is different than the original dates that they leaked. We do know the 2 shows they've announced. They're teasing that another show's coming. The 2 shows that they announced is Frozen and Seas the Adventure, which is that goofy show, which is a lot of fun actually. And just going to a lot of comments like they've announced Casting Canon and The Sanctum, and on the website it's just placeholder images because they've not released concept art yet. Kids' places look fairly. Oh, they announced the Tower Suite is going to be themed to Tony Stark, an Iron Man kind of look.
An image for that. And you can tell it's the Tower Suite because it doesn't have a balcony.
And then I was trying to see if I can find out because I'm not quite sure where Sanctum is.
Sorry, there's more of the Tower Suite, which is Moana themed on the Wish, right? Am I remembering that right?
Moana themed on the Wish, yeah.
Tomorrowland on the Treasure?
Yeah, Epcot.
Same thing, different name.
So the Sanctum is actually where I'm looking at the deck plan. The Sanctum is where the Bayou is on the Wish.
That's not Luna?
No, the Bayou. Huh?
I mean, the Bayou and Luna. The Sanctum, that's not the Doctor Strange thing?
No, but the Bayou is that lounge in the middle, right across from hyperspace. Luna is the stage, the 2 terraces.
I know. So I'm saying, so the Doctor Strange thing is actually replacing Bayou, not Luna?
No, Luna is Saga, which is Wakanda themed.
Okay. So I'm sorry, I'm going to reset this because I was confused. So Luna, which is the main family space, is actually going to be themed to Wakanda.
Yes.
And the Bayou, which is kind of the main lounge in the center of the ship and is located right next to Luna, or at least right next to the upper floor of Luna, is going to be themed to Doctor Strange.
No, it's not next to Luna. It's between the Haunted Mansion parlor and the shopping.
The Bayou is not very close to Luna. My memory is wrong there.
Deck up, I believe.
Well, Luna encompasses 2 decks. What deck is it?
4 and 5. The Bayou is on deck 3.
Really? My memory is way off there. Sorry, everyone. I really thought the Bayou was on deck 5, like by the second floor of Luna. But I'm wrong.
No, Bayou's on deck 3, off the Grand Hall. So as you on the Treasure, as you go, there'll be DeVille, which is Nightingale's, Haunted Mansion parlor, which is the Star Wars Hyperspace Lounge on the Wish, and then the Bayou, which is now the Sanctum.
Clearly, I have not been on this class of ship enough. If I don't have that memorized yet. So, my apologies. Okay, and that's going to be so is there anything that they've been? I guess Pirates of the Caribbean and Haunted Mansion, but so much Marvel theme on this ship.
Which makes sense, I think. I mean, if it's the hero and villains.
Yeah, I agree. Anything Star Wars announced for this ship?
Just in the kids area, they've announced anything like a hyperspace lounge or anything. I'm curious to see what the 3rd show is. Like, would that possibly be a Marvel show? Like, is Rogers the Musical coming to Disney Cruise Line?
That would be something. I don't think we mentioned yet that
Well, yeah.
the back of the ship, the butt, as they call it in Finding Nemo, is going to be Spider-Man. This is the only thing of all these reveals that really hits me is I don't know about that. I mean, it's fine. Marvel is a part of Disney now, but just this is such an iconic part of the ship that you can see wherever, this is the part you don't have to be on the ship to see. Everyone gets to see it. And I think of what's been back there before with Sorcerer Mickey and Goofy and Rapunzel. And this is yet another time where it hits home that Disney is a completely different company now. It's a much, much bigger than it used to be to have Spider-Man on the back of the ship.
I like this. Happy Spider-Man Day, by the way. I know it's overshadowed by LP's birthday, but today's Spider-Man Day.
Thank you, Disney, for not putting Deadpool back here.
Did you know that Laughing Place and Spider-Man were released on the same day?
I did not know that until this morning. Tony Betty has an opinion on this. A complete abandonment of the traditional gold filigree look that adorns the rest of the fleet. I don't know what the word filigree means, so I have to look.
I was going to say, I don't know if I respect anyone's opinion who uses the word filigree.
Disney Cruise. No, I'm not disagreeing with you at all, Tony, unlike our rude owner. I am simply going to pull up a picture from another ship, and so I can try to learn what the word filigree means. So this is the, and this is the, so I'm guessing the little flourishes, the twirlies, is that filigree, Tony? Let me know. So anyway, I guess I could just look up the word.
I think it's like the swirly curly cues.
It is the curly cue. Okay. So every other, oh yeah, you look up filigree, all you get is a bunch of curly cues, and it's kind of triggering a little bit. Should not have done that in images. Okay. So they look kind of circular, and I have a whole thing. Yeah, it isn't I don't know if abandonment's the right word. They're just doing something different here with the Spider-Man and an effort to sell spider bots, which I believe they still have 3 million of in a warehouse somewhere.
Actually, I don't, it'd be one thing if there was like 2 ships, but now that there's like 47 ships with probably more to come, a little variation never killed anybody. It's not changing the guest experience. It's just.
Now that's where I want the variation. I want to change the guest experience. Keep the look.
No, I mean, or elevate it, right? Like, but
I don't have a big problem with this. It's a little jarring, but not necessarily in a bad way. It's kind of cool too. The look of it with the thing trying to pull it apart and him, it's kind of cool.
Well, and to me, Spider-Man, it's not like it's Wolverine or Deadpool or it's the most accessible Marvel character. He's there's many characters that Disney has acquired that feel Disney, and there's some that don't. Like Star Wars kind of felt Disney, even though it wasn't Disney, at the time it came out. And this isn't a xenomorph coming out of the back of the ship.
Can only hope. Talk about villains. That would be cool.
How about if that's the show? It's like, the chest busting antics of.
Yeah, I think this could definitely sell a few spider bots. If they don't sell those on the ship, that's pretty sad. Okay, so the Disney Destiny. So you mentioned the itineraries. When do those go on sale?
That's a great question.
August 9th. It was August 9th in our prior post. That changed? Okay.
That changed. It's September. I mentioned it a minute ago, but what I don't have is the details. So it goes on sale for Castaway Club members and select guests on September 6th and general public on September 12th. I don't know the exact breakdown of, I know like obviously Pearl and then, platinum, gold, silver, etc. And usually they throw in Vacation Club and Golden Oak and Club Hickory in there. So I don't have all that detail yet, but luckily, all the travel agents at D23 won't have to be working.
Yes, since what a relief for them not to have, because the original date we saw was August 9th, which is the day D23 UTC starts, and UTC, and that would be difficult for them. But now about a month later, September 12th is when the general public, a little earlier for everyone else. And obviously, if you want to book, you can go to disneycruise.com, but I feel like there's probably a better way, Benji.
Almost like if they should use Mouse Fan Travel,
which is the official travel agent of Laughing Place. Our friend Becky and all her agents, they do a lot of Disney cruise booking and any cruise lines, frankly. So go check them out if you want to book this. Contact them beforehand, let them know you're going to be doing it, give them all the information, and they can take care of you without you having to be on the phone come that date.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Cruise reveals used to be a big deal. And
Yeah.
because we get 2 in a row, and it kind of felt like, I kind of feel like this one, of no fault of its own, because we don't even have the treasure yet, just feels like it's almost like they're releasing things too fast. It's like not as special.
It is definitely not as special to have all these details come out and the treasure's not even here yet. I mean, I guess have they revealed everything about the treasure? Do we know everything about this ship?
I think we know everything that we're going to know before it's at sale. I can't think of anything we don't know.
No, I know, but I mean, are there spaces? Like, do we know what the Sweets thing is themed to? Do we know what all 3 shows are? Do we?
Yeah.
Okay, so they pretty much revealed everything. But I do agree that it's really hard to get excited and hyped over revealing this ship when we still have yet to discover so much about the ship that comes in December. Because once you step on, there's so much more to discover. I guess I understand why. No, I honestly don't understand why. Why? You don't need to reveal this information to have them go on sale.
I think you need to have a base. I mean,
you need the itineraries. You need the dates. What they take away what they revealed this week. We've known it. We've known it's called the Destiny. We've known it's hero and villains. We've known some basic stuff. The fact that Black Panther is in the Grand Hall and Lion King is the main restaurant. We did not need to know that to sell this cruise ship.
Yeah, I think you could have done a little less. I think and they did last time. Remember, they hold up on the Haunted Mansion parlor. It was like held back for some reason.
And if it didn't quite sell out right away, it will when they do reveal it after the treasure sales. I don't understand.
And we kind of talked about it the other days, but it's like, what are they possibly holding? I mean, for D23, like, what does it say about D23 that we even before? Because D23 is still happening before it goes on sale. So they were. I mean, outside of one show and the look of 2 lounges, we have everything.
I don't expect to hear anything about these ships. I mean, they'll mention it, but I do not expect to learn one new thing about either one of these ships at Utsi.
You think that we'll learn about ships beyond the ships?
No. That would be a nice surprise if they're putting this out now so they can say, hey, and come 2027, guess what? We've got one more for you. But
yeah, I would be shocked if they don't do Disney Cruise Line announcement or Disney Cruise, whatever we would use to refer to the China ship the Japan ship too. I would be shocked based on the poster where the cruise line is so prominent.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's not going to be. Let me say a quick thank you to Rich. Thank you very much for the happy anniversary. Appreciate it. And this is Rich, MEI, Mouse Fan Travel, same company. So if you do contact them to book your Disney cruise, make sure you ask for Rich. He's been a longtime supporter of us here in our live streams, so we appreciate that, Rich. So I mean, giving an image for the Rick Santorum is not going to cut it. You expect some kind of a major announcement.
Full disclosure, we do not condone, support, or have any opinion on Rick Santorum. Yeah, I think that's too small, right?
Right, so you expect something.
Maybe the stage show could be big enough if it's a wow, whatever it is. But
if it's Rogers the Musical.
Yeah. And they do a production number or something, yeah.
But your gut says we're actually going to get real news, like a new ship, or we're bringing the wonder in. I mean, we're bringing the magic in, and it's essentially going to become a new ship in 2027.
Yeah, that's I would say yes, based off of my gut.
All right. Trust Benji's gut. His gut is well informed. I don't know what he means. I'm very well informed. what does your gut tell you? I mean, this is potentially our not potentially. This is almost certainly our last Inside LP prior to Utsi.
That's not that can't possibly be true.
You're gonna be down there. How do you do it? Can you do a show on the road?
A laptop and internet connection. But are you
All right.
asking me what? Are you asking me what I think they're going to announce about Disney Cruise Line?
No, I'm asking. Well, if you have a clue, yes.
I don't. I just know. I don't. How do I say this? I'd be shocked based off of the whispers that there's not major cruise line news.
So let me ask you some questions. So you're expecting major cruise line, and by major you mean more than Rogers Musical. You think there's your gut says major cruise line news.
Yeah, I think either new ship, major reinvention, something like that. Not just one stage show.
What does your gut tell you about Walt Disney World? Will we get definitives on Animal Kingdom?
Yes.
Anything?
We'll get definitive about Animal Kingdom. We'll get definitive about Beyond Big Thunder.
Okay, so Animal Kingdom and Magic Kingdom, we're getting definitive stuff. Are we going to get definitive on Avatar at Disneyland Resort?
I want to say yes. I'm not that one. I'm less sure of, but
all right.
I think you're gonna get major Disneyland news. I think you're gonna get some Hollywood Studios news.
Really?
I think you maybe even. I think you're gonna get news for every park.
They're not even done with Epcot?
Yeah, I don't think they're done. I think you're also gonna get some major Marvel at the parks news.
Anything gut feel on what that might be or where that might be?
No, I don't. I mean, well, DCA for sure, but I think it may be more than that. I don't think it's just going to be more on the multiverse attraction. I think there'll be more to it than that.
Avengers Campus is going to expand, take over all of Hollywood, and Deadpool everywhere.
I mean, maybe. It's hard because every indication I have, and not just from, Josh saying it, is there. It's going to be big, and I don't. It's hard to dream. It's hard when they say it's going to be big because you don't want to dream too big, because but you also aren't used to the sort of the normal cadence has been very small. So I don't know where in that big is a big definition. It could be a lot of things. It could be announcing Walt Disney World 3 or another castle destination, or it could be we're announcing 7 new attractions. I don't know.
Okay, but this is we're not going to walk away disappointed in lack of announcements like we did.
Yeah, I think Tony's got the big Epcot announcement.
Seamless circumvention. That wouldn't. I mean, I'd be happy with the Mary Poppins ride.
Listing. They should start the presentation listing off everything that they've announced that didn't happen, and then just show they're greenlighting all of that.
Finally going to get that Magic Kingdom theater
in that Mary Poppins spinner that nobody actually wants,
and the Life Pavilion.
Play Pavilion.
The Play Pavilion, not the play, just the play. Dang it, I had something else I was going to ask you, but I forgot. So it doesn't matter.
I have a question for you. You're a Princess fan.
I am.
Have you played with this AR feature yet? Are you talking? And I just can't hear you.
Yeah. Can you not hear me? Am I frozen?
I can hear you.
Sorry. I have not played with it. Sorry. Have you?
I did. It's takes a it's something. I mean, it's fun. It's not as AR-y as you would think. It like opens up a portal in your world and then it's just a screen. But let me see here. I got the thingy here that has a demo. So let me see if I can run the demo. There we go.
Are you showing us the demo?
Is it not working?
You probably should share the screen. Okay, is that it?
What's that?
Is that it on the screen now?
Yeah.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah. Maybe you're not sharing the right screen. I don't see anything.
Oh, there we go.
Here, this is one of my favorite places to paint, and I've just set up my easel. Should I paint a portrait of Pascal or of Maximus? Come back anytime, and we can paint again together.
So that's a thing.
We may not be the designated demo for that. I'm just potentially.
I think you are. You would love to paint with Snow White.
Can you go back to that share screen for a second? That was a fascinating collage right there between got the Destiny Spider-Man up there, Roger Ebert, SNL debate. Is that Animaniacs down there?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that reminds me of what I was going to ask you about, that middle left over there. You can stop the screen share now. So
you got to figure out what middle left is. Okay, middle. There's no middle. There's 4. Or middle.
Yeah.
What? Which one?
Deadpool.
Oh, okay. That is
Deadpool, right? Yeah. So, we were there for the opening of Deadpool, and I would say perhaps even pleasantly surprised at how family-friendly Deadpool was for that first day. And we've seen some footage since then where Deadpool is not quite as family-friendly, lots of innuendo, sexual innuendo, frankly. And I'm just asking, and we're not gonna show it here. It's not hard to find, but I've seen some of it. You've seen some of it. How do you think Disney is handling Deadpool in the parks?
I mean, what I've seen has been, I've seen some things that have been not appropriate. I would say, obviously, I saw it on the internet, so I don't know how true anything is on the internet. But if it is true with the presumption, I would say that's not great. It's bad. But at the same time, I don't know how Disney is handling it. As in, are they trying to address it or not? I don't know, because it's obviously an improv role, and when you're in an improv role, people can go off.
Right.
And so you have to performance manage it to so that they stay sort of, not necessarily on script because it's improv, but stay within parameters that are set. So I'll be interested to see a week from now, or next time, is that still happening, or do they kind of know what box they should be
and that's a good point. This is not a script by any stretch of the imagination. Oh yay, my wife is going to be able to jump in with us. So Kyle, I may put you on hold for a little bit. This is not a script by any stretch of the imagination. This is an improv role, and even on a Jungle Cruise, sometimes improv goes off the rails a little bit. And then you put parameters on, you rein it in. So seeing something once doesn't scare me nearly as much as if it's still going on, a month from now or a week from now. All right. Coming in from Backlight City, oh, that's better. We're going to bring Rebecca in to talk a little bit about LP25. So, Kyle, sorry, but we'll get to you soon. Hey, okay. Rebecca.
Is my audio working?
Your audio is perfect.
Okay, good. LP25, is that, I wasn't sure what you were wanting to talk about, so I'm here.
I mean, you can talk about whatever you want. We've been talking about the Destiny. We just got through talking about Deadpool very little bit in the park.
Oh, okay. So Deadpool, I saw Deadpool opening day, and I was super impressed with kind of the line they were drawing. He was way off kind of on the side when he was doing his little show, which felt improv, which felt like it had room for improv and that kind of thing. So I felt like you really had to opt in order to be a part of it. And so I was expecting that might be where the boundary might get pushed a little bit more. And then I didn't get to see any of his inland kind of general public appearances, but I've been really surprised that in many ways those seem to be more provocative than some of the jokes that I saw at that little show. And so I guess for me, what I'm seeing online, if like you said, I heard Benji say, it's kind of hard sometimes now if you haven't seen it with your own eyes. But the way it was presented, it really does feel like authentic. It it's disappointing to me, the boundaries that they're pushing. But I am entering this already disappointed with what Disney's comfortable putting as kind of under their brand within the public square, let's say. I don't like the Hulu transition. I like the fact that I had to change my Disney Plus settings so I don't get confronted by American Horror Stories stuff. You know, it's like when I go to Disney, I'm in a certain kind of mindset or frame, and it's frustrating to me that, you know, that's what I did because of the you know, blend that they've done and the ad campaign that they had. I'm not a fan. So, you know, it's a shift in consumer. I think for me, that's the number one question I have coming into the Ultimate Disney Fan Event is, what will the Honda Center presentations be like? Will they be as kind of like all ages? Let's not be envelope pushing in that way. You know, even if the content itself is an envelope pushing content, they had a way of presenting it in a, you know, kind of that TV movie trailer all age appropriate dynamic, and I'm curious to see if they maintain that.
I would like to
Well, this
remind
be-
you. I would like
well,
to
this
remind
be-
you that at the first D23 Expo, the studio's presentation featured a naked woman's butt.
Did it really?
Yes, from Splash. They were doing it, so there was Daryl Hannah running into the water with her butt there. You're like, wait, what?
Yeah. So I guess it's one of those things where I feel I'd forgotten that particular one, but I have felt that it's a change that's been happening. I keep telling people that for me, it feels like the kind of that Disney brand has been diluted as far as what you can expect as far as kind of an all age appropriate content. And I'm not judging it as far as value or anything like that, just from my consumer side. It makes it less relevant to me as a consumer because that's just not what I'm inclined to be interested in.
And I'm on the same page with you there, and maybe even publicly more judgy about it in terms of whether it's good for Disney to do it or not. Although it is very easy to forget about when they've pushed it in the past, like Daryl Hannah's butt, which I have no recollection of.
But
nevertheless, even with that though, I don't think there's any question that it's more now than it used to be then, and it may not be a line like in my head it is, but it's certainly a spectrum where they're much further on the spectrum.
But I would say that knowing D23, that type of dynamic, a PG dynamic, is not surprising to me at a D23 event. I'm curious to see if it's more PG-13. And that for me is more than I want in a D23 dynamic. I personally prefer D23 to be more of a PG dynamic unless I opt in. I don't mind them having certain stage or certain presentations behind a door that I'm entering into. But for me, the Honda Center is not behind a door. That's a all come kind of thing.
Wild success of Deadpool versus Wolverine.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Sorry, the whole versus thing. Usually, how superhero things work. 10 years ago, I would say there's no way they're going to have Deadpool come out and do the LFG. There's no way I would, bet my house that won't happen now. I can totally see them. Hey, we're just going to break through all this one time, make the fans go crazy, because the fans will go crazy. And I can see them doing that, and I don't think that's a good thing.
Yeah,
but
I would be. I mean, I don't expect Deadpool to come out. They may mention the success of Deadpool and Wolverine, but I don't expect you to have like you had at San Diego Comic-Con, which is definitely a PG-13 or R dynamic. And even to the point where Disney had it so that if you wanted to attend the Deadpool panel, you had to opt in and click that you were signing up for an R-rated panel. And so I think I think there's enough to talk about that they don't need to go to Deadpool and Wolverine. I don't think they're even going to look, it's not there to be the past. Now, the box office success of there, I think, could cause a warrant a nod to it, a mention of it. But I wouldn't expect there to be an R-rated or even an illusion of an R-rated, moment. I would also say, too, there's a big difference between the oversight of a performer at California Adventure and a Honda Center D23 keynote. If you go into the Bob's Burgers, Futurama, whatever that is panel, okay, I mean, you know what you're getting into, hopefully, and I still hope they're family friendly-ish, but that's different than going to
No, exactly.
and hearing,
No.
So, and obviously there's an FX place on the show floor, and that may have a different vibe.
But previous years there was a very specific, you could tell there was a very calculated forward facing presence versus what happened once you stepped within, let's say. Right. And I'm curious to see, like, given the marketing that we had with Hulu and what they were willing to do forward facing, the blended with the Disney brand on it, I'm very curious to see kind of what we have at D23, because frankly, I am not the target. I am not the consumer for whatever that marketing campaign was. And so I'm curious to see if that's reflective of a transition in the brand, because brands change with culture, and I get it. I mean, if it's moving the needle, I can understand it. I'm just interested to see, am I still the ultimate Disney fan, or am I no longer within that demo?
Okay. We will find out in the next 10 days. So, but the other thing we wanted to talk about today, and I'm so glad Rebecca joined me for this, because on this stream right now, I would venture to say, and I hope I'm not offending anyone here or anyone not here, but we have the three most important people to the 25 years of Laughing Place.
You have the two most important people in there, Fred.
We have the two founders and the CEO for the past 10 years. That's pretty key. So, yeah. So I'm glad that we have these three for this occasion, because today, 25 years ago today, we officially launched laughingplace.com as the site covering all of Disney. We had a little pre-launch starting in April where we just covered Disneyland, but August 1st, 1999, we started covering all of Disney World. Your entry to, I don't even remember the terminology I used. I'm going to say I a lot. It is we. There's no question it's we. It's just how I talk. So I hope I'm not offending you with that, Rebecca.
No, not at all. Not at all.
But this is not day one, but this is certainly the look we had on day one. That's what Laughing Place used to look like, our little bubbly, colorful logo and the big icon that was not mobile friendly. Warning, do not try to look at this on your non-existent iPhone.
Honestly, for those of you watching, believe it or not, Laughing Place was founded back in an era where the amount of data you were pulling into your computer was regulated. You only could, it was so slow that we used to put up a tiny little picture and then say click, because if you were somebody who were paying the really outrageous prices for a faster speed and wanted a larger picture, we wanted to offer it to you. But on our end, the cost of like putting up those larger files of video of a picture or putting up that larger stuff was enormous, was not insignificant. Yeah. And the other thing was that search engines were not nearly as focused as they are now. If you went to some place like Yahoo and you typed in Disneyland, you might end up with an article about some Russian prison. Literally, there was an article that popped up back, I remember when we were first starting LP, because there was some prison that was being described as a Siberian Disneyland of Russian prisons kind of dynamic. That was the language in the article, and that's what would appear within your search. So we did kind of an analysis of sites and let you know that you weren't going to waste your bandwidth by stepping out there. You weren't going to just get the little guy saying under construction when you clicked on a link and that kind of thing. And then we also did a roundup of articles trying to direct you to other content that you want, that if you were a Disney fan, you'd want to be aware of, whether it was in the Times or Variety or whatnot. We just did it was really meant to be kind of a click through. Here's some of the stuff that we found that's of note, go for it. And
back in the day, it was called a portal, and that's what we were, a Disney portal.
Yep.
So I'm noticing on this page, there's something called click to register, something 25 years later we don't have, which I think is kind of fun. Although it might be something that I've got some thoughts on that. All right, so
I think one of the greatest things about Laughing Place, though, was the people that it connected together. A community developed very quickly. Some amazing friendships were built. Friendships we still have. In fact, Ben was an LP discussion board user back in the day. That's kind of how we got to know. That's kind of how we got to know Ben initially, was through our events. That we would have little meetups of Disney fans.
Yeah, I can remember actually meeting. I can't remember. I don't remember, but I remember him telling us that we met him, I think, at the Pirates of the Caribbean event we had in the exit to Lincoln. I mean, Benji was like 8 years old back then. One day.
I remember going and being not like, so like I wasn't a huge community guy, and not like Kyle's community, but like. You know, I didn't really want to make friends on the internet. Like, I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that. Just I'm an introvert and just didn't want more friends. But I remember just feeling so out of place, but being so happy to like get to see Doobie and Rebecca like off in the distance, and like being afraid to like actually like introduce myself.
So, we lost her. I hope she comes back. Please come back. This is one of those meets that we used to very regularly have meets at Disneyland where people could meet each other. I don't even think we were at this one. This is one that took place without us. It was, it was never our intention for Laughing Place to be about us. And the internet was different back then, much more personality driven now than then. But we were happy to go to the meets and meet people, but it certainly wasn't centered around us. It was all about the community themselves. And I just was showing, I don't know if you saw it, but I showed a picture of a meet we had back in the day, Rebecca, or that they had. We weren't even at this one. So
no, that's one of the things that I'm most proud of, is the way that Laughing Place facilitated other people to connect. That we were, before there was Facebook, before there was Twitter, we would let people share their Disney stuff with people. We had something we called LP Live. It was just around the early days of Twitter, but people who were in the park would text us their photo, and it would republish on the site. And so you could see what was happening in the moment inside a Disney park. And now that's just so commonplace, but it really was something, kind of special about Laughing Place at the time. So, and before there was Facebook, Laughing Place was a place where people could gather who are all interested in the same thing. I mean, other discussion boards are out there still. Places like WDW Magic, I know, is still going strong as well. But it's been an amazing 25 years. I'm very excited for where the future is. I'm enjoying this kind of YouTube dynamic where we get to do much more video, because video just wasn't going to happen back then. Here we are. It was an introductory event through the NFFC, that's now the Disneyana Fan Club.
We had a booth.
Yeah, we did.
So
I think that's the first picture I ever saw of you guys too, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
But
so anyway,
we've had some fun around here.
25 years later, Rebecca and I started it. Tons of friends helped us out over those first 15 years. We had kind of we moved to California, took a full-time job. The site just kind of still kept going, but certainly not with the same energy it once had. And then Benji approached us, and he's kind of taken it by the reins since then. Rebecca and I are most definitely very involved still, but Benji is kind of the spearhead now. We've got a much bigger team than we ever had. We cover things we've never thought of covering before. I don't think we ever dreamt of covering, Star Wars Celebration in Japan or something like that. Unless
we have a member of the Television Critics Association on our
Right.
team.
Yeah. On our
You know,
staff,
I mean,
and
the fact that Alex has been able to accomplish that with Laughing Place as the door makes me very, 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 very happy.
And I would be remiss because in my post on Laughing Place, I did not mention this specifically, and I should have. And I mean, on my personal Facebook, I'm going to mention it now. Definitely thank the staff, everyone that's ever contributed. Definitely thank the readers. Obviously, this is all for you guys. But we also got to thank our sponsors. We've had many very loyal, well, it's hard to say loyal when they don't sponsor anymore, but we've had many sponsors over the years. We've done a lot to support.
We do.
Some have come and gone. Some have remained.
Yep.
But I would like to thank just a couple specifically. Hojo Anaheim, which is not a sponsor anymore, but they were for many, many, many years when we covered Disneyland. We're a little bit more Disneyland centric than we are now. They're still going strong. We still love them. Hojo Anaheim, closer to the front gate of Disneyland than the Disneyland Hotel itself. And of course, our ongoing sponsor we've had for many years now, Mouse Fan Travel / MEI Travel. Becky over there, thank you. Cannot even begin to thank you enough for all the support you've given us, the monetary support, the travel agent support personally, taking care of our readers. You know, without the sponsor, we love the readers, we love our staff, but ultimately it's the sponsors that pay the bills. So without them, we would not be here anymore. Thank you very much, all of you.
And I'd like to take a moment to say thank you to someone who's no longer with us, and that is Dave Nastanich, who unfortunately has passed away just prior to COVID. But Dave was really there, like full force when Laughing Place first started. Sometimes even when we didn't want him to be, he would barrel into stuff. But while Doobie and Doobie is not an introvert, but Doobie is kind of more computer oriented. I am an introvert. Dave is somebody who would happily strike up a conversation with anybody. And he was just delightfully boorish, and he made many, many friends. And because of that, and because of his passion and love of Disney and his desire to share it with people, he helped open so many doors for us. He brought us so many wonderful moments and pictures, and really helped kind of spark the community around Laughing Place as well. And I'm sad he's not here to see that we made it to 25 and that we're even bigger and better than ever. He would delight in seeing where some of the places where Laughing Places appeared. I know he loved seeing us whenever the fact that Laughing Place appeared at the end of the Oscars because of a Nat Geo review we had would have just he would have just been so bubbled and so pleased. And I'm sorry that he's not here to enjoy all this as well, but I want to make sure that y'all know the name Dave Nastanich as we celebrate 25.
I miss
Dave, one of my best friends my entire life. And yeah, we all miss Dave. Dave was fantastic. All right. Well, as we said,
I just want to say,
okay.
Obviously we've changed, LP's changed, Disney's changed, the internet's changed, but everything that we do today is from the germ of what LP was when it started. And, I remember being told about Laughing Place from a Disney Store cast member about who knew I was a big Disney fan. I was like, oh, you should go there. Like they have like more like, interesting, like not just, here's what's happening at the park stuff. And I was like, oh, and then I was like, oh my, and then I felt it. It was like, I would literally go on my computer and just keep refreshing. Cause back then we would update you would update headlines once a day and just waiting and it was like, not exactly on a set schedule. And so you just be checking, like refreshing, like when's the headlines going to come up? Like I can't, like, my day was not complete. And then God forbid you went on a vacation and I was like, no.
It was fun. I missed doing that. I'll be honest. It was fun. I missed that part.
Yes. Okay. Well, as I started off saying, we are not a website that is very personality centric. So I feel like we've talked about ourselves enough for one day.
For sure. Definitely.
So let us move on to a couple more things. Do you want to hang around, Rebecca? Or are you going to get back?
I can hang around if I have anything to add to the conversation. If not, you can tell me.
Let's bring on. I mentioned that the three people on the screen are the three most important people in the history for the 25 years of LP. But perhaps fourth would be this guy right here, Kyle Burbank. How you doing, Kyle?
I'm doing well.
Kyle
hey, Kyle.
managing editor here at LP, and today he is in the field. Where you at?
I am at Gen Con in Indianapolis, Indiana, and currently in a hotel room near that. Which,
looks
by the way, is
very
actually
casual.
awesome. There's a reason that the NFL Combine is in Indianapolis every year, and it's because Lucas Oil and the Convention Center and all the hotels are all connected. You never have to go outside if you don't want to. So that's very cool. I this morning timed myself from the time I set foot in the elevator to the time that I got to the opening of the convention center. It was 4 minutes and 17 seconds.
Nice. All right. What is Gen Con, by the way?
So Gen Con, I don't know what it stands for. I don't. It sounds like something that started as like a small, kind of like Laughing Place, started as a small like community of friends, and then grew massively. But for our sake, the reason we're here is to cover some Disney licensed board games and other things. So the big story last year was Disney Lorcana. It debuted here. It's back again. It's still quite popular. It had a fairly long line, but they're not really doing anything super crazy. The debut was last year, so this was the only place you could get it for weeks before it came out. This time, it's definitely cooled down. They have a few exclusives, like some special cards and stuff. I got a 1-year anniversary pin that if I were smart, I would have brought closer to me so I could show you. And then, so the thing that makes Gen Con so different, the reason like I was kind of overwhelmed last year because I didn't understand how it worked, is that you have the big show floor and you have some free events, but then you have to buy tickets for a lot of the things. So what you see right here is a thing you can buy a ticket to where you play with that Deep Trouble, the Ursula's Return game. It's a cooperative version of Lorcana that you play against Ursula, but you play as a team. So you can buy a ticket for $64 to this. You get to play with the people. You get a copy of Deep Trouble, and you get an exclusive promo card with it. So that's kind of the way these things work. There's some other rooms playing all sorts of other different. That's the free pin that I got featuring the brave little tail of Mickey from Nicholas Cole did that art, so I tagged him on there. I got to interview him at the last Gen Con. He's a great artist if you don't follow him.
Wonderful.
Yeah, there's some other games here too. There's there's a Marvel multiverse role play game. So I think of it kind of like Dungeons and Dragons. You're buying a book of rules. So they released the initial one last year. The brand new X-Men expansion is coming out in a few days, and you can buy it here. So I got to check that out real fast. And yeah, just some other Disney stuff as you walk the very busy for a Thursday. The show floor, because a lot of people want to pick up a lot of different things. So not the best crowd flow on the show floor, but once you navigate it, it's worth it.
How long does Gen Con run for?
It's today through Sunday.
Oh, that's longer than Expo.
Yeah, tomorrow there'll be a the Villainous game that also from Ravensburger. They did round 1 of a tournament, I think today. They're doing the finals tomorrow, so I'll get to cover that and see who wins this year's tournament. I was there last time. There's also a new version of, I have to tweet this still, but there's a new version of Villainous out where you get a special Lorcana card as part of the that'll be out at, I think, Target stores and some other places. So it's not exclusive to here, but I did get a chance to check that out this afternoon.
Is it just Ravensburger or there are other Disney games there?
There's some other Disney games there. Like I said, if you count the role play game as a game. There's also, I haven't found it yet because, like I said, the show floor is a little crazy, but there's that new Donald Duck game we just learned about, celebrating his 90th. That's around here somewhere, so I need to go find them. Also, I saw a stairway that was Marvel Comic Hunters, which I guess is a board game. But they had the whole staircase decorated for that, so I need to go find them as well.
Oh, that's cool. I saw that photo on our Twitter. That's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, if you want more Gen Con, you can follow our Twitter, or actually if you just go to laughingplace.com, it's on our now what we're covering on the side. You can click that. And it will load all my coverage as I tweet from the weekend.
Oh, fantastic.
Very cool. And then Thursday.
Cool. And then
It was not enough. We needed Gen Con. which I learned stands for the Lake Geneva Convention because it was founded in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin.
Thank you.
Nice.
I knew at one point, but completely forgot. But it's not like an obvious something that it stands for. You're like, board games, generation. I don't-
All right, I'm going to show something here. We switch gears
Okay.
a little bit.
Oh, by the way, if you want to have a lot of fun, go to the Wayback Machine and look at some of the stuff that we have on Laughing Place back at opening day. But now Doobie's going to share a video.
New villains are joining the party. All right, Kyle, what's this mean?
So I did have to ask Marshall for one of them, and also before I forget again, I like to thank Roosevelt for my shirt. The first one would be Hades. That's why you have like the vase from Hercules and stuff like that.
Can I interrupt you real quick? This is a video I didn't intro this at all. This is a video from Disney Parks teasing Oogie Boogie Bash. Go ahead.
Yeah, so like they've done in I think the past 2 or 3 years now, they've kind of released these, I guess I'd call them like almost theatrical videos teasing some of the villains that'll be new. So yeah, the first tease is Hades, and the second one I wasn't sure about because I didn't watch the show, but it's from Phineas and Ferb. It's Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
What? Wait, you didn't watch Phineas and Ferb?
I'm a little too. I mean, that sounds silly in
No.
this, but it was a little past my Disney Channel prime.
Oh no, we need to do a rewatch.
I got to see I know some of the songs from the show that used to have a DCA. So I know Squirrels in My Pants and Welcome to Tokyo and
Very
the theme
good.
song.
Has Doofenshmirtz been a walk around before someplace?
I don't know.
I just want to know,
I think I've seen
is
Perry
Dan
and then
Altmeyer going to be there every night? Like,
I was gonna say
That was
he's such a Disney fan that if this is the debut of Doofenshmirtz, the TikTok he puts out with that is going to be epic, and we need to be on the lookout for that.
the TikTok he's going to put out is epic, and you have to imagine that sometime he'll sneak a fun in there, right?
Sneak a fun.
He'll be like, haha, look, it was, I was buddies with Doofenshmirtz last night, kind of
Oh yes, yeah.
kind of thing,
Yeah.
for a set, for a quick minute, kind of, I don't know, maybe not, because I that's much harder. People talk about that like it's so easy. Oh, I'm just gonna go over there, and it's not that simple. So it's to be
Hades
good
is
at
a
it.
face character. Assuming Hades is a face character, that's a fun one too. That guy can have a good time.
Hades, I think definitely seen as a.
and
Rubberhead.
every night performed by James Woods.
He's got time.
I mean, you think Deadpool's inappropriate?
By the way, I know yesterday you guys debuted the new Princess commercial. I'm liking this new Princess vibe.
Yeah.
So,
Did you see the AR promo?
yeah, I played with it yesterday. Tiana came over. She was throwing a party. She asked me if I wanted beignets or gumbo, and then based on my choice, the room changed. And then she asked me if I wanted a jazz band or like kind of swing, romantic-y kind of music. And once again, the room changed based on my choice there. And then you could take a selfie, but I didn't want to take a selfie, so I swung my camera over to my adorable Sisu on the shelf and took a picture of it instead with the princess frame. So, yeah, it was fun.
I'm glad
I had a
someone
good time.
played it.
I did. I had fun.
Did you see the? Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Did
go
I
ahead,
see?
Dan. I'm gonna go ahead.
See the breaking news that happened while we were chatting away.
What?
I'm gonna pull up my email, but they're doing a fall.
It's like storyteller.
It's storytellers. It's the new fall Mickey's Autumn Adventure at Storyteller Cafe in Grand California. Will feature
Hey.
season 4 and characters dressed in new attire. And that's the new attire. There also will be having Goofy's Kitchen celebrates Halloween at the Disneyland Hotel. So Storytellers is bookable now.
Yep. Yay!
And Goofy's Kitchen coming soon.
If you need anyone to cover those, this is like our.
I
home
know,
right here.
man. Sign me up, man.
Chip is doing
Oh.
the Polynesian tiki pose.
Yeah.
I just wanted to share this picture.
Now I'm
here.
hungry. That was some good food.
Oh
Remember
my
these people?
goodness! Look, it's us and Jim Hill and Nancy Stadler. Oh wow! Okay, long time, man.
Thanksgiving.
Long time. I wonder. I haven't checked to see if Jim's making the trek out to D23. So I got to see him at Dayton. He comes out to Dayton Disneyana in June, so I get to chat with him during Dayton Disneyana fun. So by the way, if you're not going to D23 but you enjoy getting together with Disney fans, go check out Dayton Disneyana in June. You
No
can check it out on their
4 a.m.
website,
virtual
Dayton
queue required.
Disneyana. What'd you say?
No 4 a.m. virtual queue required.
No. It is way more fun and casual. There's not
Hey, let me-
high energy and
But
high
all the
production
F-bombs
value.
that they
It's
don't say at
stressful.
Honda Center.
So I don't
Right?
know-
Yeah, I know.
I don't want to repeat because you've heard from 3 of us already on this topic. But since we have Kyle today, welcome, by the way, Kyle, to the Return of the Morning Show. Since we have Kyle today, what do you expect to be the biggest thing to come out of the park segment of this expo?
I mean, that's hard because there's things that you expect and then there's things that you want to happen.
Let me say what you want. What announcement would make you the happiest?
Tomorrowland at Disneyland.
Oh, didn't you just redo that in '98?
Yeah, just a short few decades ago.
Hey, now I resemble that remark.
That's how I feel about Test Track. Like, didn't we just do this over again?
We did. One Direction was there, or One Republic was there.
One Direction would have been a bigger gap.
No, the rumor was One Direction, then it turned out to be One Republic.
It was very funny. It was very funny when they took stage. Yeah, that was a fun day. Oh
Got
man.
one.
I have a
All right,
question for
anything
you.
else? Yeah.
Hey Kyle, I have a question for Kyle.
Everyone has a question.
I'm
Who
ready.
goes first?
You.
You.
How did you come to LP like as a consumer?
So I think it was actually through the podcast. I remember
Okay.
having an epiphany one night, being like, there's all these podcasts now, and they seem to be on all sorts of topics. I wonder if there are any Disney podcasts. And Laughter Place was the first one that I found.
Oh, cool.
You were this close to working for WW Radio.
Well, no, maybe because I lived
Or
in Disneyland. I was looking
Ripping
more for
Brigante.
Disneyland than Disney World.
I was gonna say,
Because at
yeah,
that point,
Disneyland.
So I actually hadn't been to Walt Disney World in probably about 15 years when I first started listening to the podcast. And the first time that I went was I met Benji at D23, the first one in 2009. And then he was nice enough to let me stay at his apartment and may or may not have signed me into the parks every day. And so that's probably the first time I went back to Walt Disney World after however many years.
Very cool. Very,
Benji
very
getting
cool.
Kyle at the theme parks for 25 years.
What Benji, what was your question for Kyle?
My question was for Doobie.
Oh, okay.
We were talking yesterday about all the stuff that I'm making him do in the next 3 months. How did you do this back as one person? Or 2 people? One family.
Well, we covered less. Was the primary thing.
But back
first-
no. Can I help out with that a little bit?
Of course.
I mean, yeah, go ahead.
No, to be frank, in part back then you couldn't just start up a blog or a website really on your own. It took a bit of financial reality, and so just offering to people a platform to share what they were doing was really, they really appreciated it, and so to some extent you'd get people who are like, hey, I'm going to this thing, are you guys interested in my pictures? So to some extent we had quite a bit of that. But go ahead, Doobie.
No, that's a big part. I was going to say we went to less things. We could cover things just by other people going to it. Rather, as Rebecca said, often they would be going we would directly get their stuff. Other times, just it would be covered someplace else, like by the LA Times or something, and we would just report on the fact that they were covering it, and just direct people over there. But yeah, there have been plenty of times where someone has said, or we've reached out to someone, hey, you're going to this thing, can we use your pictures from it, or can you take pictures for us from it? Because what else were they going to do with it? Put it in their drawer? They weren't going to put it on Facebook. There was no Facebook. They weren't going to put it on a blog. It was hard to do a blog. So it would either share it with us or they just disappear forever. Much harder thing now because everyone in their, they'll just put it on their own Facebook.
Yeah,
Instagram,
totally.
blah, blah, blah. So yeah, that was a huge part of it.
Yeah.
Disney was a smaller company. We also knew we weren't going to cover everything. That's not something Benji has allowed to happen here. He does insist on covering everything. But back in the day, we were okay not covering, a movie premiere or whatever. But no, that's not the case anymore. Everything must be covered. Kyle is at Gen Con now with, what is that? A map of Epcot behind you, it looks like?
I think it's supposed to be, it's kind of like a kaleidoscope version of a map of Indianapolis.
Oh, okay. You see Kurt Russell up in the ceiling. All right. Do we have anything else today before we get back to our day jobs?
Can we mock Jeremiah for a second?
Always.
Oh, okay.
So he texts me, did I miss this announcement? And then a link to our 2 new villains announced for Disneyland Resort's Oogie Boogie Bash. I was like, no, because you just sent me the link of our story. So therefore you didn't miss it. It is there. I don't understand the question.
So I noticed we said 2 new villains announced in our headline.
Maybe we should say tease.
I think tease might be a more,
Well,
we're not wrong.
actually, I'd argue that the headline is perfectly accurate because they did announce new villains coming. 2 new villains. We didn't confirm who they are.
That is also true.
See, these are the types of editorial decisions I'm glad I don't make.
We're going to
Become
start
a
having
member, you can watch
editorial
more of
meetings.
more of this debate as we do this on a
We'll have to do our
daily
editorial meetings on Discord so that
This is
our
funny.
LP Elite.
This
Oh,
is
that'd be fun.
This is a fun line. A vague Instagram reel has quietly revealed 2 new villains. That is an oxymoron. It's either vague or it's revealed. It's not both. So whoever wrote this, I hope you're not watching. I'm not actually making fun of you because I know you're right and this is inconsequential, but it is funny. Okay.
Well, I think we're taking tomorrow off, right? So
Yeah. So
we'll be back with some version of this show on Monday, one way or the other. So
for the other
Yay.
family, the Inside LP Morning Show is back for now. Bye,
And if you
everybody.
remember, keep an eye out for a sneak peek of our fans later, hopefully.
oh yeah.
Woohoo!
Yeah, those
Hopefully.
are they're on a truck. I've tracked them. They're on a truck. In fact, they may have been delivered by now. I'm gonna do a quick live tracking. Track your package.
Oh, yeah.
No, still out for delivery. Okay.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
And I don't know if you know, did I mention that as we're on the show, I get a thing from the UPS store and it says, your package was delivered from UPS from Disneyland Paris. So
I'm excited.
you find out what
Should
that is.
also mention, as a part of our
Stay
25th
tuned.
if you go to our website, you will see we have a 25th anniversary logo, which is also right here in honor of Disney World's 25th anniversary and their pink castle. We're trying to channel that a little bit. And if you want your own magnet, just like
Because
this,
Doobie likes pink.
show up at our booth at the D23 UTC next week.
Because you're a rock star.
We've got thousands of these things to give away, so please don't make us go home with any. Come
500.
booth number 500.
500. We don't know where it is yet, but it's booth 500.
It's not that big an area of the D23 Emporium, so just find the D23 Emporium. You will find us. It's on the first floor of the show floor of the D23 UTC, starting a week
Come say
from
hi.
Come say hi, get a magnet. We just got a bunch of every year, every expo, we give away free stuff. So we just picked up all the free stuff we're giving away this year. It is a car full. So, and it is good stuff. This is not just trinkets. This is some good stuff. So come by. You will not walk away empty-handed. Tell a friend. We will see you on Monday. I'll see you on Saturday. Disney Trivia Live. Bye, everybody.